Julie's worked at the Student Faculty Center here for the past 3 years or so. She recently applied for a job here. I came in the other day to ask, what the process was, and I basically just told her that she was not competitive for the job.
My name is Julie Doherty, and I applied for the conference coordinator position. And when I went in to check the status of my application, Dan put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Well, as long as your gender type is a woman, you're not going to get the position." It's not my fault. I'm a woman. I feel rejected because of it.
I don't really care how she feels.
Good morning, Student Faculty Center. My name is Javery Bayless, and I'm here to talk to you about the glass ceiling, whether it is a myth or reality.
Wait, we're getting glass ceilings installed?
Glass ceiling? Look, I'm not a facilities guy.
A brief definition of the glass ceiling: it is an unofficially acknowledged barrier to advancement to a profession, primarily affecting women and minorities of a certain group. This little meme down here is just a little description of some of the barriers that women face. And what the gentleman is thinking is, I brought you to the office today, honey, to show you what you could look forward to if you were a man. Basically, he's looking out of his window office at the top story building, and all you see is a lot of skyscrapers and high rises. Common stereotypes that women are perceived and minorities are perceived as in the workplace: women lack a certain leadership qualities, women are too girly, and they're scared to ask for promotion. Most men like to hire women as their assistants, or they like to hire them because they know that women are not going to speak up, women are not going to ask for too much, they're going to come in and they're going to do their job. And this is generally what women are perceived as. This shows a woman here in her business uniform trying to break the glass ceiling, and as many of you guys know, this is the propaganda sign, basically saying that whatever men can do, women can do as well. Some of the stereotypes minorities have: minorities lack intelligence and education. They also lack the skill needed to move forward up the corporate ladder, and they constantly have to prove themselves. Minorities these days are trying hard to find themselves, trying to get a degree, trying to better themselves within their education, and they're trying to make their way up the corporate ladder, but they just keep hitting this glass ceiling. Slowly but surely, it's starting to break. An example of that would be for myself. I used to work in a bookstore in Beverly Hills where it was predominantly white. The books usually ran from $11 to $750,000, and one of the issues was that I was highly recommended when going in. That's how I got the job, through someone else, and they put me in the back of the bookstore gift wrapping books. So they also told me that I would not be on the floor selling books until I proved myself, until I proved that I was able to sell these books. Also, there was another woman who just got hired who was also highly recommended, but she was also put in the back of the bookstore. The only people that was on the floor selling books were the men. I didn't seem competent to them enough until I actually sold a book to Leonardo DiCaprio. That was one of the highlights of working there. Things that we can do to break the glass: Proud versus Wise Business. Proud is a homosexual male who worked in the business, who worked for Wise Business Forms, and he was discriminated against throughout his job, throughout everyday life, and so he filed a claim to Title VII, which basically states gender inequality, and he actually won this case, and so now he has equality within Wise Business Forums, and now he's like one of the top people on the board. We also have to businesses also have to recognize that times has changed. Women and minorities are now at the top of the leaderboard. Women specifically are taking over education. They actually have the highest ratio versus males in education. Employers should also just allow their employees to grow within their organization. If you see that someone is striving, then you should just be able to, employers should see that and allow them to grow within the company. Moving along, 18 Fortune 500 companies are also owned by women. That includes Walmart, are ran by women. They are the CEOs. That includes Walmart, NBC, IMDb, Oprah, for example. 28 Fortune 500 companies are also ran by minorities. She's really good. That includes Citigroup and American Express, just to name a few. And these are just some things that we can do to break the glass. And as you go through your everyday work life, just try to know that this is 2012 and gender equality is for the better of your organization. If you break the stereotypes, you will have a better organization working amongst each other because you can learn something from each other, as well as you will see your profit, even if you're just a nonprofit, but you will see your overall organization increase in productivity. Thank you.
Well, now I know to challenge myself and my coworkers to break the glass ceiling.
I'll probably work in buildings with only glass ceilings for the rest of my career.
Clearly Dan did not pay attention during the glass ceiling presentation, but I encourage you guys to pay attention, and I encourage you guys to break whatever glass ceiling that you may be facing in your everyday workplace.